Thank you for watching the Whittemore Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.
The sign said it's time for the broadcast. Sister April, I only wonder if everybody can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
Woo, it's been a Monday and a half, honey. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. I think that's a virus. That's COVID-19. That's what that is.
Oh, you think the system has COVID-19?
Yeah. It couldn't come on us,
That just may be the deal. I hope not, because we got some good information today coming from our special guest, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Today, as soon as we can get her on, again, April mentioned some technical difficulties, but in the meantime, while we are clearing them up, we do hope to have our guests. Let's just start out with sending out a shout out to our sick and the shut in. Okay, I mean, we would be remiss if we didn't do that. April. So users again going alphabetically, but hey, it happens.
It happens.
It happens. So let's start with we're sending out all of our condolences and our well wishes and to our sick and shut in, and we certainly hope from the community magazine and the community magazine Our Power, hope that everyone is coping with this virus. They're doing whatever they've been instructed to do and following all the guidelines that have been out there, and apparently they've been working a little bit, because I think there's been a little bit of improvements. My improvements is what I've seen. Number of people wearing masks now, so they're cognizant of it. So, but anyway, with Ana and
Allentown.
Oh yeah, if you don't call Allentown, let's call in. They were,
Burgess, yep.
Bucksville,
Cool Springs,
Choppy,
Carver's Bay.
Yes, indeed.
Cochrantown.
Don't think about that. Cochrantown, man.
Cochrantown, yes.
Choppy.
Yep. And
Choppy.
Yep. When I say Cochrantown, I got to say Darden Terrace.
Yep. You got.
We'll say Darden. Yeah, we'll call out Darden Terrace out there. Exactly.
You know something? We I started to say some churches, but there's so many of them.
You get in trouble. You start naming them, and you forget. You miss some.
Yeah. You know what?
You might want to leave that alone. Just leave that one alone for today.
Unless you're
gonna make your list, you make a list, then we can revisit that.
Yeah, we can revisit that. We'll save the capital for last. If somebody knows what the capital is, but please send us the chat right on your computer. If you're on Facebook, let us know what the capital of Conway is. But in the meantime, we'll keep on with the Sand Ridge, 378, 9th Avenue. Let's just spread out to Long, South Carolina,
Green Sea, Finkley,
Loris,
yes, Swampy,
Yep, absolutely.
Oh yeah. See, somebody already knows the Capitol. They posted it on the thread. We'll say it in a minute. They know the Capitol of Conway. Yeah.
So we go
So
Georgetown. We're gonna have some things coming from Georgetown right here in very, very near future. Okay.
Yes.
Georgetown,
Yes.
Charleston. Gonna have some guests coming from all the way from Charleston.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina,
We have Charleston in the house. I see Tabitha Dozier Thomas and my homegirl from Charleston.
Oops.
Yeah, she's watching today. Thank you.
We're gonna have them. We're gonna nobody is too good not to be
or too far away.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you are an important person because you're talking. If you got an important subject matter that's going to impact all of Carolinians and the United States.
That's right.
A lot of people may not know about it, so contact us. Let us know so we can get we can talk about it. You don't know what impact it's going to have.
That's right.
Maybe a job for somebody.
Could be.
Could be a job for somebody. But let's continue on with North Myrtle Beach, South Myrtle Beach, Paul's Island, Merle's Inlet, Chesterfield area out there, Poplar, SPOPLAR.
Yes. How about Marion County, Tabor City, Whiteville?
Yeah, we're getting up there now.
Yeah, we all around, all over the place.
Bennettsville, all them.
All that. And then we have states tuning in. Usually we have Florida, Texas, Maryland, DC.
Absolutely. Maryland. Yeah. Absolutely, Maryland.
Yes. Somebody just posted in the comments, John Street, Tin Top Alley, Hemingway Street, and Ward Circle are the capitals. That is up for debate. Yeah, we're going to have to debate on that because the capital is what, Brother Edward? That's right. Margie McIver knows. She said Sugar Hill. She posted Sugar Hill. But I'm a little biased. I'm biased, though.
SUGA.
Yeah. Still trying to get a T-shirt. Exactly. Run out of T-shirts. Mm-hmm.
Well, we want to welcome all of our good viewers, and we certainly appreciate you for viewing. And we just love talking to you. Love hearing from you.
Yeah, Goose Creek in the house. Thank you, Goose Creek, for tuning in.
Goose Creek.
Sister Veronica Muhammad. Thank you so much.
Goose Creek. I know. Sister Joel, we're glad to hear that. Glad we got the Muhammads down there in Charleston. That's a beautiful group down there. And our blessings to everybody. So, April, today, we're going to be talking about a little bit about a part about Myrtle Beach that we just don't hear about.
Mm-hmm.
And for you people who are beyond Myrtle Beach, when you listen to us, see what our guests are, because we want to reach you also. Okay, and you have items like what we expected today coming from. Should I tell them already?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Miss Mary Cookie Owens. She is the director of Myrtle Beach Neighborhood Services in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Some things going on over there, man. Once you people hear about it, you're really going to be in awe with what she and her staff are doing over there, and what is expected for the remaining of the year. It's wonderful things that are happening, and it's not just going to impact Myrtle Beach, but we can all kind of draw from this. Okay, Ms. Mary Cookie Owens, and we're going to have her as soon as our technical difficulties are addressed.
Yeah, she's working on something. We'll wrap that up, or she'll get that wrapped up, and then we'll get started with her. She's going to be talking about, as you said, the mission of neighborhood services, and she will also cover some of the initiatives that they have going on, such as their Beachside Chats, which is an attempt, in my understanding, to address some of the racial issues that are going on in that area and some other issues around Myrtle Beach. And it's just a way for the community to come together and talk about it. And so she'll talk about that. And she's going to mention Charlie's Place and what's going on with the development. Actually, next week, we're going to have Frida Funny, who is kind of coordinating that effort. And she's going to give us a little bit more detail. But Cookie is going to introduce that today. And just, talk about the department in general and what their goals are. But mainly tying it all into exactly what the purpose is, which is neighborhood services and trying to unify their community. So that's going to be awesome. You know what? Y'all are just like giving me life today. Just all the compliments coming in. Let me tell you, honey, so the hair wanted to act right today. I don't know why, but she doing her thing today. Thank you so much, my cousin Cassandra Campbell out of Greenville, North Carolina. And Miss Margie started it. She complimented me, and then Tanya DeWitt Green. Let me tell you, if Tanya gives you a compliment, that's platinum. You got to hold on to that one. I'm gonna put that one in a Ziploc bag. Fail. Yeah, I got to have that. But thank you all so much. I appreciate the compliments. Maybe it's the earth tones. It's, green is my color, and all that going on in the background. Who knows?
I didn't notice that back there. I didn't notice that. That's a nice color.
Yeah, switch it up a little bit. Switch it up. But also, I'm wearing just a little something. I guess you could call this a little, I guess, on the ethnic side or what have you, because I have a special tribute to the late great Chadwick Boseman that I'm going to play today, and during one of the commercial breaks, and we're gonna take us back in time to February 2017 and take a look at some photos from our community night out whenever we got the community together to see
absolutely
Black Panther. So I got a little something I want to show you, and beautiful gentleman, a tremendous talent. I can't even go into a whole lot about it right now. But
he's from Anderson, South Carolina, right?
Anderson, South Carolina. Played basketball at TL Hanna. Went on to Howard University. So he was a Bison. Was mentored under Denzel Washington. Has starred in. He really had a really wide spectrum in terms of his range as an actor. Anytime you can go from something that's kind of sci-fi-ish and to playing some very serious biopic type roles like James Brown and Jackie Robinson. That he portrayed. It's just amazing. And in the little bit of time that he was here on this earth and graced us with his presence, he put in a tremendous amount of work, and we're certainly going to miss his talent from the big screen. So, that night was incredible. We had a great time, and so I wanted to make sure that we just kind of relive some special moments, and I'm going to show some photos and whatnot, just real quick clip. But anyway, so
while we're waiting on it's just a thought. While we're waiting on,
because Cookie, just give me a nod when you're ready.
Okay.
If she can hear me, give me a nod when you're ready. Okay. All right. What's your quick thought?
Okay. I thought it was just go ahead with the with your clip. Give them a bonus, and then when Cookie gets ready to come on, we'll get back to him.
Okay. All right. Well, I think she's ready. I think she nodded her head that she's ready.
She's ready.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and bring in Miss Mary Cookie Goings. How are you? All right. How are you doing?
I am well, except there's this awful sound. Kind of goes in and out. So
you sound clear as long as you're not moving.
Yeah, as long as you're not moving.
All right, I'll be still.
There's something. Yeah, we were trying to troubleshoot this a few minutes ago, and that's why we were late coming on. But we'll do our best and try to get through it, Cookie, if that's okay with you.
It is, but I mean, this is my first time, and the peacemaker is causing trouble. I don't mean to.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, we can do this time. This time.
He said this time.
Okay.
Can you hear us? Okay. All right. So, Miss Cookie, you want to start by, I know there's a lot of people viewing who already know who you are, but then there's a lot of people who have no idea about your greatness. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you? Who is Miss Cookie Goings? Tell us about yourself.
Well, okay. But first of all, let me thank you, the both of you, for allowing us to share some happenings within the great city of Myrtle Beach. But I am Mary Magdalene Cookie Canty Goings.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now, hold on, let me write that down.
Nope, don't. Daughter of Mary Catherine Brantley Canty, and I always claim my roots in Conway over on the Sand Ridge. The Brantleys, the Falks, and the Williams, those are my peeps.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm a true native of Myrtle Beach and Horry County. Graduated Myrtle Beach High School, matriculated Newberry College, finished Newberry College, came back home, um, completed my master's work through the University of South Carolina, worked 3 years between Georgetown and Horry Georgetown Tech. And for the last 30 years, I served my alma mater at Myrtle Beach High School. 11 years as, no, 19 years as English part-time English teacher, then went to full-time guidance. And then the last 11 of those, I served as director of guidance at Myrtle Beach High School.
Wow.
Eric is my husband. I have 2 children. I have a foster daughter, a granddaughter who's 14 and one who's 3, and the loves of my life. And I'm just a true servant. I simply love serving people, especially young people and seniors.
Well, that's awesome. So over 20 years in education, and then you decide to just take a turn. You decide to pivot and do something different. What
Well,
led to that?
kind of, sort of.
Okay.
It actually was 33 years, a total of 33 years.
Okay.
But then they told me that as of 2018, that was going to be my last year because of Terry. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I wasn't ready to go home and look at or listen to my husband all day, although he's still working. So somebody sent me a link to an application for the city of Myrtle Beach, and I completed it. And 3 years later, here I am, director of neighborhood services.
Okay. Was that transition difficult?
April, actually, it was for the first 6 months. I think I was kind of like in a state of depression because I had done school for 33 years. But once I realized that neighborhoods consist of schools, churches, and homes, and it clicked one day, and I got an email to serve as a reading buddy, and the rest is history. I found a way to reconnect as well as connect where it comes to education and reconnecting with my former students and their parents and grandparents. So it really has become an extension. When I decided to retire, my students and parents asked, "Well, where are you going and what are you going to be doing?" So in lay terms, we are the guidance counselors and social workers for the city of Myrtle Beach.
Well, look, neighborhood services very, very lucky. They are lucky that you happen to be there. I'm going to use the word happen because you said you filled out an application, but they are lucky to have you.
Well, I'm a believer that nothing just happens, but I'm grateful that I was in the position and still willing and able to serve people. But I'm grateful to them because it's a wonderful place to work and serve.
Okay. Well, we're glad you could come on today and share with us all the great things that are happening over there in Myrtle Beach. A lot of people just haven't been hearing about those cookies. So, we just want you to kind of spread the word a little bit and just tell us a little bit about those great things, like the mission, like the neighborhood services, the mission of the neighborhood services. You can start with that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
You could start with the mission of the neighborhood services. Could you hear me now?
Well, the mission of neighborhood services is to enforce, and I really don't like that word, but it's to enforce our city's commitment to uplifting and revitalizing our neighborhoods. And our purpose when we go in is not to change. We go in to assist, direct if we're asked to. But the one thing that we try to do is to allow the neighbor, we don't allow them, we encourage them to maintain their identities and their uniqueness. And then if there's anything that we can do to make that even better, then that's what we do. But we work with them to enhance or maintain who they are as individual neighborhoods.
Yeah, you know, we at the magazine and Whittemore Community Magazine specifically has reported on a couple of things, I believe maybe three that have happened over in the that's in over 16th Avenue. That's the park. It's what park? It's Chapin Park. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I
She
can.
didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So and we've seen some results of those things, and we were quite elated. Of course, we've had you in the magazine a couple of times, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, regarding that. So, and that's called the Beachside Chats, right? Okay, tell us a little bit about the purpose of that.
Okay, so Beachside Chats was initiated by a 72-year-old Caucasian father and grandfather who his daughter has adopted an African American teenager, and then he has a son, and they have a biracial grandchild. And so, at the wake of the Mr. George Floyd killing, he came to me and said, "Cookie, we have to do something." And we stood in the parking lot over at Rock and Jump just, for 30, 45 minutes or so. And he just kind of shared his thoughts and feelings about being a granddad, of African American sons. And so I told him, let me think about it. And I went home and I really did pray about this. And we had already said, because there had been a couple of shootings on the boulevard, that neighborhood services wanted to mobilize with the community. And when I say the community, I'm talking about the city of Myrtle Beach. The individual neighborhoods comprise the community. But we had already talked about doing something. So it was a godsend, I believe, in that he came at a time when we already knew there was a need for peace, for something positive. And prayed about it. And in the wake of the morning, I felt like we needed to have conversation. He was saying that he wanted to work on a project, but it came to me that we need to know each other. We need to talk. We need to have conversation before moving on to do something else. So, Beachside Chats, conversations, a series of conversations on race, healing, peace, and understanding was born in the parking lot at Rock and Jumps, and the first one happened June 7th.
And you expect more. I mean, this is a series of those Beachside Chats, right?
Yes. So we've been meeting for 3 months now.
Right.
I said the first one was June 7th. And I just, if you allow me to mention that first one, during that first Beachside Chats, it was allowing people of color, but anyone who had been affected by racism, classism, sexism, but we really wanted to focus on the people of color who were there. And so we broke into subgroups. We had started with the large group, and it was like 175 people at the first one. And so afterwards, we broke into small groups. And the first question was, once they set the group norms or whatever, the first question was, tell me what it's like to be Black in America today. We had a second question, like for a backup or follow-up. None of the groups ever got to the second question because the first one was so powerful. There were lots of tears, was lots of nodding the head, lots of stroking, lots of encouragement, because what we did with this first 3 months was to create a safe space where people could come and tell their stories, where they could not be afraid, where they would not be afraid or ashamed. And then as we progressed and moved along, then others in the group felt like it was okay to ask questions. So for this first quarter, we've created a safe space. And now we're ready to move into the next, which is our brave space. And what we are going to kind of entitle, What Do We Do?
That should be interesting. What do we do? You're probably going to get a lot of suggestions on that. So these chats, I saw the formation of one that was in Children's Park. I think the last one I saw, which was not the one that court school, but the last one that was in Children's Park. I think you had like 3 circles, I believe, that encompassed the 3 circles of diversity of people. And I guess you hit them with that same question first. What would you do if you were Black? Is that the same format you followed?
Well, yes, the first 2, we kind of allowed it to continue after the first one because we started at 6 and 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock they weren't done, and so we allowed the second one to continue with the second question of, what are your hopes and dreams for your future, for the future of your children, for the future of your grandchildren? And again, the focus was allowing people to share their stories. We did 3 more, 2 more after that. Then on the 5th one, we did an activity together, which we called Painting a Portrait of Peace. And this was led by our intern. We have a young man who serves as an intern over at the Historic Color School Museum. But anyway, we painted a portrait of peace. And there were 6 different groups ranging in age from 4 to 82. He designed, carved out the mural, and then by colors, we all painted. And then so on Sunday, August 23rd, we had the unveiling of the Beachside Chats Portrait of Peace. And it's mounted on the fence at the Historic Myrtle Beach Color School Museum and Education Center there, which is another historical, Mr. Joe White Avenue. It's a picture of a white hand and a black hand clasping together, coming across a divide and clasping. And then on the far side, it has the words, "We are here." And then people got a chance to sign, "We are here to listen, to understand, to promote peace." So I hope you guys, everyone listening gets to drive by. We had to put a special sealant on it to protect it from the weather. But it is absolutely phenomenal. Just a fantastic artwork.
Yeah, you're going to hear more. You're going to have a magazine. And hopefully, we can convey any information that we think that the audience could take and digest themselves. Because it's very, very important. It's beautiful mural, by the way. Want to applaud you all for that creativity. It was great, and that was a great scene that you had at the Myrtle Beach Color School. And as Cookie said, it's a place facing Mr. Joe White Highway, so you can't miss it. Right? Okay. Okay, yeah, you're
Uh,
kind of fading out on us, Cookie, but
no, I'm actually muting her mic so that we can eliminate some of the noise because we're getting
oh,
some comments from our viewers about the noise. So when I turn off her mic while you're talking, it it should eliminate that. We'll just try to work through the moments when she's speaking, and we just ask that everyone just be patient or whatever for tonight. Not whatever, but if you would please be patient. Cookie, here's what I want to ask about Beachside Chats. You know, I think that racial tensions are still very high, and I don't know how much progress we've actually made throughout our communities across the country, mainly because there seems to be some individuals and groups that continue to fuel or fan these tensions. And when you think about Beachside Chats, and I know you said it's a safe space, basically creating dialogue, because I think that's where it starts. That's important. The communication between people to make sure that there's an understanding that's developed. As you think about some of the things that were being said and the issues that were being placed on the table, and even just the misconceptions and the misunderstandings that were discussed, what are some of the things that the attendees seem to focus on the most when it comes down to race relations? Is it a matter of just misunderstanding cultures? Is it more about misunderstanding of organized groups and purposes? What are some of the things that are some of the discussions that came out of those conversations?
Well, I think it's a combination of things that you just said, like all of that. I think there is a misunderstanding of, of the culture. And I seem to think more with the younger people, not so much, but a misunderstanding of culture. I think people realized that they had really been lied to about who Black people are, you know, as a people. Um, but one of the sessions, the series that we did, and Dr. Atia Stokes Brown from Coastal Carolina University served as our moderator. And it was Don't Get It Twisted, Dispelling the Myths About Race. And so in that, we talked about a lot of things, and lots of simple things evolved from that, like Frida, our neighborhood services coordinator, whom you will have on your show at another time, talked about simple things like she'd gotten accustomed to going to Walmart to find her brand and her shade of makeup. And then all of a sudden they removed it from the shelves. And then Dr. Stokes Brown talked about not being able to find the right shade of pantyhose. They talked about how in schools, I mean, the books are wrong. The books are wrong, and there are many of us, many of you, who have known that for a long time. But in the wake of everything that is going on, we're finding that the monuments are you know of those slave owners, some of the heroes that were painted in South Carolina history, or even especially American history. Um, they were some of the biggest criminals and murderers. So we had a long discussion about that. We had representatives from mental health, Horry County Schools, behavior interventionists, history teachers, AP teachers, and they all just really honed in on that it was such miseducation, and it's happened for years. And I have a question that I'm just waiting to ask, be it the state, the district, or whomever. What are they going to do with that information this year in teaching South Carolina history and US American history to our kids? But April, knowing that we still have such a long way to go, the fact that an average of 60 to 75 people keep showing up each time, lets me know that they want to have the conversations, that they want to listen, they want to understand. And I'm saying they, that includes me, because I've learned so much myself. And we are completing the results from the survey, and overwhelmingly 100%, they want to continue, and they want to continue to listen and to learn.
I think that's important that, there is a desire to learn, because supposedly when you know better, you do better. And maybe if, we continue to dispel some of the myths and misconceptions about uh, our race, and maybe, all races in general, and just, come to understand what the truths are and the facts are, then, we can definitely ease or mitigate this tension that is happening, because it's like everybody wants to take ownership of a certain thing that connects to a certain culture, and that's fine. But when do you draw the line at that symbol, or that icon, or that piece of history being offensive to your neighbor, or dismissive to your neighbor, and just wanting to hold on to that versus trying to make amends or to come to an understanding of your neighbor. And I think we've seen a lot of that over time, and certainly Myrtle Beach has had its share, especially when we think about everything that surrounds Black Bike Week, for instance, and how people develop ideas and thoughts around Black Bike Week before the bikers even get here. Some of these are historic thoughts and concepts that they have about Black bikers who come to Myrtle Beach to do the same thing that other vacationers come to do. So, you're right. Having these conversations is important, and it's good that there are 60 to 70 people average. But when you look at the composition of the group, who's attending? Do you think that you are meeting the objective as far as who's attending, or is there something that we need to make the community aware of, so that others who aren't attending will know the value of what you're doing, and start to come out and support what it is that you're trying to accomplish here? So what does the group mix look like?
Um, and that is a great point. The makeup of the group is the majority is not people of color. And I don't know, you would think otherwise, or I did. Um, and so we have done extra measures of outreach. But and when we do hear from some, it's the fear of the virus, and I do get it. I do get it. I do understand. I have a tendency to use my Facebook more of a ministry tool, and trying to encourage, and trying to bridge, and trying to bring in. So several of my former students were there this last time with their children. But I do think it's imperative, and that it's important that we, as African Americans or people of color, show up. The table has been spread. The invitation has been sent forth. Come to the table. We don't want to, react. We want to be here all along, being proactive, taking measures, and listening, and sharing, our thoughts and our feelings with our police chief, and police department, and our council members, and those who represent us. We want people to come to the table so that we're able to move forward. And somebody said it's going to take time, and I have been stewing over that for weeks, because like, how much more time is it going to take? And I had a really emotional moment a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I remember my mother fought for this kind of stuff. My mom did this, and here I am, you know, at 60 years old, for my children and my grandchildren. But it's taken me a while, but I'm getting over myself because it's necessary. When I think about, and I know that people have died so that I could be at Chapin Park and inviting people to Beachside Chats or be, with neighborhood services. My mother lived that life. I just don't want us to be slothful and not miss out on an opportunity to come and have some real dialogue and conversation and share what's on your heart and share what's on your mind in a non-threatening, very peaceful atmosphere.
Was I muted the entire time? Brother Eric, you didn't tell me. Okay. Anyway, I was saying that we're going to give Cookie a break. Okay. And then we'll come back and we'll talk some more about the Beachside Chats. Let's talk about the healing process. Has any healing taken place since your chats have started? And then we'll get into the Charlie's Place and a few other things that you're here to talk with us about tonight. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, read some of the threads also, comments from the people, April, they're interesting. I'm looking at them, they're quite interesting. So.
Yeah, when we come back from the break, we'll do just that. Right. Okay?
Thanks.
All right. For all of your insurance needs, home, auto, and life, see how it feels to be on a #1 team with Tony McAfee of State Farm Insurance. Call Tony at 843-903-7800 or visit him at 3888 Renee Drive in Myrtle Beach. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Looking to start a new career? Train to work in Myrtle Beach. Classes starting soon. Free to eligible participants. Short-term, 3 weeks or less in hospitality, culinary, electrical, plumbing, and more at Horry Georgetown Technical College. There's more. Continuing education at 843-477-2020. Horry Georgetown Technical College, where there's more. Enjoy soul food the way your mama made it. You'll be surrounded by some of the best food in Horry County and affordable prices. Blue plate specials, senior plates, and more. Daily specials at Big Mike's Soul Food. Big Mike's Soul Food is located at 504 16th Avenue in Myrtle Beach. Call your order in at 843-712-2048 or visit BigMikeSoulFood.net to find out about the latest specials. Big Mike's Soul Food. Soul food, the way your mama made it. Treating conditions from A to Z. Schedule an appointment today. Ask about acceptable insurance coverage at Waccamaw Primary Care, 660 Singleton Ridge Road, Conway, South Carolina. Dr. Winston D. McIver Jr., a trusted and reputable source in Horry County and beyond, has all you need for family practice and sports medicine. Call 843-234-4362 to schedule your appointment today. Waccamaw Primary Care, 660 Singleton Ridge Road, Suite A, Conway, South Carolina. 843-234-4362. Family owned and operated since 2001, a veteran owned company. We're your #1 property cleaning company serving Horry County and surrounding areas. Superior Window Cleaning has all that you need for residential and commercial property cleaning. Mention WCM Live and receive free window cleaning with power washing for up to 15 windows or free power washing for up to 200 square feet, flat work only with any window cleaning job. Call 843-889-7255. That's 843-889-7255.
We're back. We're back.
Yes, we are back, and I just added this back to the stream. we do apologize for the technical issues tonight. Hopefully, you all can, hear this great information that Cookie Goins is sharing with us tonight. If not, we'll just have to have her back when technology is a little bit better. And it's a Monday. I guess it's kind of tapped out as well. So you know how things can happen, Murphy's Law. But just want to, like Brother Edward said, we're going to some of the comments right now and questions, and then kind of talk about the healing, because we love to acknowledge our viewers, and we also encourage them to post comments and questions about the discussions that we have. So one of the questions was all about moving the message to a greater population and actions to come out of the meeting. And I think that kind of ties into another question about how it is that we can get input from the community, from the persons who fear coming out, because the virus is still very real and still, there's great risk. So Cookie, can you
Can you hear me, April? Well, one of the things that we've done is the first after the first two series, we actually invested in having the sessions live stream. Went Facebook Live, and then we've, like I said, invested, and we've just gotten a sponsorship to help us incur the cost. So it is available for viewing. But I think the fact that many are, afraid of the issues with the virus, and I do understand, but just to give them some assurance, we are out in the open, and everybody wears mask. Wearing a mask is a requirement. We even had some special neighborhood services masks made for our residents and our guests, because we really do want people to come and engage in the conversation.
I'm real concerned about the technical issues, because I believe that they are having a hard time hearing you, Cookie. And if someone just asked me to zoom in on your lips. So let's talk a little bit more. And then maybe Brother Edward, you have to make this call. It's your show. But I don't want them to miss anything because
Listen,
of,
I'll come back, because I do want to share, and whatever it is, if it's on my end, I strongly apologize, but I think it's important to share and let people hear. So whatever you guys want, I will do my part to make it happen.
well, I suggest, since Frida's going to be here next Monday, you can take half of that show.
I'll do it.
Yeah, so we have both of you. You both are neighborhood services, and I don't know that you got a chance to describe your department in full, but if you can, tell us a little bit more about the people who work for you and what they do.
Okay, well, we have an intern, Will Williams, who is the mastermind behind the Peace Mural, the Portrait of Peace. He is our intern, and he serves over at the historic Color School Museum. And then we have I call Pint Size Powerhouse, Frida Funny, who serves as our neighborhood services coordinator. And her primary responsibility she's working on right now is to get Charlie's Place, get it up and going with the incubator spaces. And I won't say any more about that, because that's her baby. But she did want me to tell you tonight that the applications for the incubator spaces go live tomorrow. Um, they can go to neighborhood services page, and it will share with them the types of businesses that we're going to house there. But we're super excited about that. And then we have April Johnson, who is the administrative assistant, who keeps all of us afloat and keeps us all in check and keeps things going. So it's the four of us doing this ministry work here in the city of Myrtle Beach.
I don't know why it keeps muting me. This thing keeps muting me. You don't have to have a large team to make it possible, so that's awesome. That sounds really good. So Miss Cookie, I think that's, Brother Edward, I'll let you, kind of segue us out of this so that we can deal with maybe we can have a chat after this to kind of talk about what needs to happen to make sure you're good for Monday. Because again, I don't want the viewers to miss anything. And I think they are having a difficult time hearing you. So Brother Edward, if you will.
So if you want me to segue out of this, I don't want her to leave.
Well, that's your call, but I don't think anybody can hear her because we keep getting those comments.
And Cookie, we certainly understand, okay? So, and to our viewers, we hope you understand, that you are also, the information is so powerful that you're putting out. It's something that I believe most people, I would say most people, but a significant amount of people didn't know anything about that's occurring over there in Myrtle Beach, and what they're endeavoring to do to mend communities and to make sure that it's had an impact. And so far, it must have had an impact with the number of people that she said are coming there. And you may have an issue with gaining a diversity that you want, but I think in time, I think it will. And as the information I've gotten from you earlier was that there will be a series of beachside chats like that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but does this continue? Could it possibly continue out the rest of the year and continue on, even if it has to be in an enclosed facility as it is now, it's in a park? But do you see that happening?
The plan, and based on the survey, everybody 100% they want to continue. And so our next one is Sunday, September 20th at Chapin Park. Now, all the others have begun at 6 o'clock, but knowing that we have some students who are involved, we're going to push the time back. So just beware that we're going to change the time, probably to about 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock. But yes, we will now move to monthly, though. It's been twice a month for the first 6, but moving forward with Sunday, September 20th, it will only be once a month. But again, back at Chapin Park for September 20th.
Not cooperating, for example, it is coming on to a cooler month. You have an indoor facility that in mind, if you desire to continue on monthly?
We have considered that already, but keeping in mind that we are in a pandemic and practicing social distancing. There are a couple of facilities that are owned by the city of Myrtle Beach that we are considering. Next week we meet to go ahead, and we already have our dates, and to make sure that those spaces are available. They will continue.
Yeah. Well, look, thanks so much for coming in. The next one, technical difficulty will be resolved. I'm almost sure of that. So, but we can't wait to have you and Frida next Monday. Is that right, April? Yeah, next Monday. And so, unless you have any closing remarks, we can wait until you can have you say the closing, and wait for you again next week.
Well, I apologize. I don't even know what to say. But I apologize, and I know that definitely when the tech guru is here, we won't have these issues, and we'll prepare ahead of time. So I thank you again for the opportunity, but most importantly, thank you for the work that you do in getting important information out to the residents of Horry County and beyond. But I also thank you today for being most forgiving and willing to give me a second chance.
Listen to that, will you? Okay. Okay.
Can't stop the show.
We're always
All good. Yeah, we'll have it together next week. It's all
yeah,
good.
yeah. You can count on that. And we'll be communicating again before the
We
next
will,
okay.
and I promise you to be right. But I apologize to all of our listeners, but please tune in next week. It'll be right.
All right. That
Yeah,
sounds
we
great.
have a lot more to say. There's a lot that hasn't been uncovered yet. Okay? Especially when you and Tina come on here. Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Cookie. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
We'll see you next week. But the audience, please stay put. April's going to tell you about what this extra that we wanted to share with you. April, you got it.
The extra.
Yeah, it's extra, but it's informative. Okay.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
My brother, the Black Panther.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about some other news or something that we were talking about. Well, I mean, that is news, but yes, as I said before, I guess I was just kind of concentrating on helping Cookie with her situation. But as everyone knows, national news, Chadwick Boseman, who was a very talented actor, succumbed to colon cancer at the age of 43 and fought a battle for the past 4 years, a silent battle. And I've seen a lot of conversation about the use of that particular phrase or that, I guess, dialogue concerning his situation. And I think that people need to be a bit sensitive and a little bit more empathetic when it comes down to how people are talking about his situation, because even though he dealt with it quietly and chose to, make his situation highly personal and to not bring the focus on his illness so that we could enjoy his talent, he did suffer in silence. So no matter how you put it, he suffered in silence. But I think it's amazing, and I shared this with the group of young people that we've been working with through the literacy program, shared it with them on Saturday. I think it's amazing that he was able to accomplish so much in the past 4 years, even though he was getting chemo treatments, he was going through surgeries. You have to imagine the physical toll this was taking on him to fight cancer and probably know that it was a losing battle and yet still persevere. And he pressed forward through all of this to give us some incredible work that we can enjoy for the rest of our lifetimes. And so, there's a lot of people who probably are suffering in silence in some way. They're dealing with things and they're trying to handle it from an emotional aspect, a mental aspect, and yet press on. And maybe that was his way of pressing on by not, giving it life by speaking about it so openly or whatever, but doing the little things that he needed to do in order to make his life meaningful and whatever time he had left purposeful on this earth. For example, people don't realize that he was actually doing a lot of work with, children who are terminally ill and visited them on a regular basis and actually, tried to comfort them even in his time of need. And that says a lot about the character of this particular actor. And so what I put together tonight, it won't do justice at all to say, thank you and well done for everything that he's done. But I think it was so impactful back in February of 2017, because it was the one time when the network, which of course, as you know, is the group that I have here on Facebook, that we were able to come together as a community of Black people, family, friends, loved ones, and have a movie night out. And it was because the movie Black Panther premiered and we wanted to support it. And it was just a great idea to see whether or not we could get everybody together. And we did. And we actually sold out a cinema. And there was, 8 to 80, all walks of life, people that we know and love. And he brought us all together with that piece of work. And so to take us out, I'm going to just show this clip, and hopefully you all will, if you haven't watched Black Panther, that you will watch it and realize how beautiful the story is. And it's about, persevering and sticking together and unifying against the forces that may try to disrupt whatever paradise you've created for yourself. But it's also about being a champion for a cause. And that's exactly what Chadwick Boseman was. He was a champion for his cause and for the cause of people who are probably experiencing some of the same things that he went through. So, Brother Edward, with that being said, I'll play the clip and we can go ahead and say goodnight to everyone. So that can just kind of take us out until next week. And again, Cookie doesn't have to feel bad about this technology glitch. It was not her fault, I'm sure. She'll be back next week along with Frida Funny, who works with neighborhood services as well. And we're going to learn a lot about Charlie's Place and what they have going on, that business incubator part. That is phenomenal, especially if you are an entrepreneur and you're looking for some space. She's going to talk about all that and then, what they're doing to create that museum space there. So stay tuned. Be back 7:00 Monday, and we'll talk about it then. So that's my final word, Brother Edward, before I play the clip. Do you have
I say that you talked about space, and they'll work with minority seekers, entrepreneurs. Okay, so don't let the big prices of all the places that you see to rent space and to lease space throw you off. Work, go to the neighborhood services and their affiliated organization. They'll work with you if you want to start a business, because it's that era now. It's that time that we should be getting into minority businesses much more, and we are. Okay. Having said that, see what the Black Panther has to say about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you all next week. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone who's tuned in from near and far. And again, we'll be back next week. Same time, same bat channel. Well, same Black Panther channel. How about that? 7 p.m. next Monday. Everybody. Yes. Take care, everyone.
See you next week. 7 p.m.